Hi, we're here to talk about harvesting hops in your backyard. I planted these last spring, so they're in their second year, and it's late summer here in Colorado, so end of August or so. And these hops are ready to pick, and the reason we know they're ready to pick is they start to get really kind of start to get dried out. They have a resinousness to them. They start to get a little bit of brown on the tips, a little bit. They break apart very easily, and they have a nice yellowness in there, and that's the lupin. So we want to make sure that they're ready. When they're not ready, they're still kind of closed and they have more moisture to them, and they don't have all these wonderful qualities that you see happening here. So the next thing we do is we make sure we have a bucket of some kind. This is a food grade bucket to make sure that they stay clean. And then we just go ahead and just start picking them. And if you have a sensitive skin, then you want to make sure that you wear long sleeves or gloves, because it does get sticky and gets onto your hands. So that's it for the picking part. Okay, pretty excited. First time I've harvested this plant. It's just in its second year, and I've gotten about 5 gallons worth of fresh hops. So I'm very excited about that. So I've got this scale here. I'm going to zero it out. I'm going to pour the hops. To there. And I have 2 pounds, 13 ounces. So I'm going to write that down. And then I'm going to take the hops and put them to dry. So let's go do that the next step. Okay, this next step, I built this dryer, which is basically made out of 2x4s and a piece of screen. But you can also get a screen, an old screen, or something at the hardware store will work just as well. So I'm going to take the hops, freshly picked, put them on the screen, make sure that there's plenty of room. There's still a lot of moisture you can feel as I'm spreading these out. So we want to make sure that they're spread out pretty evenly. And this is just from one plant. I have 3 other plants I'm going to go out there and do as well, but I think I'll let them stay a little bit longer so that there'll be enough space for this dryer. So I picked a space down in the basement which is cool and dark. Once I turn up the light, it'll be pretty dark in here, and then I'm going to set up a fan on low. And I'm going to come down periodically and just shake them up and try to make sure that they're getting dried on all sides over the next 3 or 4 days.
All right. There's something wrong with this pie.
Okay, we're back 3 days later, and we have our hops. Put them in this 5-gallon bucket. You can see where they're really light and very dried out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh them to see the difference in the moisture without the moisture in the hops. So I'm going to zero out the tare. Okay, so now I'm going to weigh it here, and I end up with 12.6 ounces. So out of this 5-gallon bucket's worth, there's 2 pounds of moisture in the hops, so significant. We're at 2 pounds, 13 ounces, and now we're only at 12.6 ounces. So a big difference there. But the good news is we have 12 ounces worth of hops. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, take a bag here, like this, and I'm going to do the tare, to get it to 0. And then I'm going to put about 1 ounce of hops in each bag. So I'll end up with roughly 12 bags of 1 ounce hops that I'll use for my home brewing. All right, that's 1 ounce. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get as much of the air out of the bag as I can, just kind of crunch them down a little bit. And I'm going to take them over here to my vacuum sealer. And I'm going to put the vacuum sealer in here. Okay, and now we have a nice sealed bag of hops. Take a Sharpie and I'll mark on here the date I picked them and an identifier of whatever hops I have. I have several different kinds of hops, so I'll mark each one, whichever kind of hops I have. And then I'm going to take and just store them in the freezer. And so they'll just go in here and I'll get 12 of those bags. So that's it. That's how you harvest your hops. Also be careful with your dogs, if you have a dog, to not let them get to your hops because they can die if they actually eat the hops. So that's it. I'm Jen Cleary, your home brewer, teaching you how to harvest hops.